Hi, Vie Girls. My name's Laura Anderson, and today I'm going to take you through a quick yoga flow with a focus on the hips. So if you want, you can grab a block or maybe a folded blanket, something that can help you assist. And keep in mind that this is your yoga practice first and foremost. If anything doesn't feel good, feel free to skip it or modify, whatever you need. With that being said, let's get started. We're going to begin in child's pose. So in child's pose, you're going to bring your knees wide, big toes are touching, and then you're going to walk your hands out, extend your fingertips towards the front of your mat, and then lower your forehead down. Allow your hips to be heavy. And from here, start to focus on the breath. So slow inhale through the nose, slow exhale through the mouth. Give yourself a moment here to let go of whatever's going on in your life. And just begin to check in with the body. On your next inhale, you're going to draw yourself into a tabletop position. You'll stack shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Spread the fingers wide. On the inhale, you're going to drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, push away from the hands, chin to chest. Couple more just like that. Inhale, arch up, look up, cow pose. Exhale, rounding into that cat. Good, last one, connect to the breath. Inhale. Exhale, rounding. Good, inhale brings you back to that neutral spine. From here, we're gonna walk the hands back and we're gonna come into a squat. So depending on your hip mobility, you might need a block or a blanket underneath your sit bones. That's totally appropriate. If you don't need it, see if you can sink those heels down and then bring the hands inside, palms together, elbows are gently helping those knees open wide. From here, we're gonna bring a little bit of movement. So rocking side to side, getting into those hips a little bit, just giving them a gentle warm up. Good. And then from here, you're going to bring the hands down behind you, sink down onto your sit bones, and then bring your legs out wide, knees are bent. You're going to drop the knees to the left so that your knees come into a 90-90 position. So they're not super close like a senior photos pose, right? They're going to be extended, those feet are flexed, and then you bring the hands behind you. Try to plug the shoulders down, draw the belly in. You're going to inhale, lift the knees up. Exhale, let them fall to the right side of the room. And then you'll switch, going back and forth, nice controlled movement. Inhale, drawing the knees up, letting them land to the other side. If that feels easy for you, you can also float the arms to give yourself a little bit more of a challenge. Try to keep that chest nice and high. Good. You can always pause the video and do any of these poses for a little bit longer if that feels appropriate for you. From here, you're going to come back into that tabletop position. We're going to prep ourselves for pigeon pose. So stacking shoulders over wrists, you're going to draw the right knee up outside of the right wrist and then inch the right foot forward. We're working that shin so that it's working towards parallel with the top of the mat. Make sure that you don't sink onto one side. You want to keep those hips square and then take a check in with that back leg. Make sure that it's going straight back. Top of the foot is lying down flat on the mat. So a couple different options in your pigeon pose. You can stay kind of up taller, working on a bit of heart opening. If you want to sink into that pose, you can definitely come down to the forearms or maybe all the way down to your chest and allow yourself to relax into that hip stretch. Once you've found a variation that works for you, I want you to once again connect to that breath. So slow inhale through the nose, longer, slower exhale through the mouth. Good. Thanking your hips for all the work that they do for us. Good, and then coming out the way we came in, moving gently, moving slowly, walking yourself back up, pulling that right knee back, and then we'll switch it out. So left knee will come outside of the left wrist. Same thing, we'll inch that left foot forward, working that shin towards parallel. Maybe you're sneaking that right foot back a little bit further, right leg is extending directly out. Those hips are square once again. Maybe you're lifting the chest, finding a little bit of a heart opener, a little bit of a back bend. Or maybe you're coming down onto those forearms once again. Allow the shoulders to relax. You can drop the chin to the chest, really any variation that feels good for you as you breathe into those hips. Slowing that heart rate down, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Beautiful. Make your way out slowly. The final pose that we're gonna get into today for our hip series is lizard pose. So you're gonna come out of that pigeon, but keep that left foot forward. We'll start with the left. You're gonna walk the left foot towards the top of the mat. You're gonna engage your right glute and sink your hips down towards the earth. Bring your left hand inside of your left foot. So option to stay here. If you want a little bit more intensity, you can tuck your right toes and straighten that right leg. If your hips are really open, you might be able to lower your forearms all the way down to the mat. Again, finding a variation that works for your body today. Breathing here. If it feels good, you can bring the left hand to the left knee and help kind of open that, coming onto the knife edge of your left foot. Maybe twisting here, keeping that right glute engaged as you sink the hips down and really open the hips. Couple slow breaths. And then coming out slow, we'll switch it out. So you'll step that left foot back, right foot forward, engaging that left glute, sinking the hips down, bringing the right hand in front of the right foot. And then same options on this side, maybe tucking the toes, straightening that left leg, trying to keep those hips low, really opening through the right. Option to bring the forearms down to the ground if your hips are open and that feels appropriate. And then last kind of variation, bringing that hand up to the knee, gently assisting it open a little bit further, maybe twisting the chest a little bit, opening the heart. And then coming out slow, planting both hands, working that right foot back. Quick and easy with the hips today. We'll close out just in a seated position. I like to sit with my legs folded underneath me. If that doesn't work for you, find something that does. You can bring the hands onto the legs or maybe hands at heart center. If you're comfortable doing so, close the eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. Let the shoulders relax. Taking a minute here, thanking yourself for spending a little bit of time on the mat, for showing up, for breathing into the hips. We'll close with one final breath. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Thanks for joining me, Vie Girls, Strength and Sisterhood.